need to do your speech for everybody?
I'll just remind you that we're being audio and video recorded tonight. If everyone could state their name when they're speaking or making a motion. I'd remind you there is a public hearing tonight and that needs to be opened and closed. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Frank.
All right, thank you, Dan. So this is the Commission on City Plan meeting, December 14th, 2021. I've called the meeting to order. Can we do a quick roll call, make sure we have everybody? So can everybody who's participating indicate that they are here some one way or the other? I know Mike Lahan is with me. I see Kathy Warzika. I'm not sure, are any other members present?
Yeah, this is Les King. I'm here.
Okay,
Oh. How come his little thing is, box isn't on there?
yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. So we have Kathy, Les, Mike, and myself. So we do have a quorum. Could I get a motion to approve minutes from the November 16th meeting?
So moved.
Second. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so the minutes are approved. I don't see any communications on the agenda. Are there any communications that we should note, Deanna?
There's not, but if you could take a motion to modify the agenda tonight, there will be a couple things that I need to add to the agenda.
Okay, you want to tell us what they are, then we
Sure,
can,
Dan, could you
somebody
go back
make
to
the
the agenda,
motion.
please?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so we need to add a request for a bond reduction, please, and a release, and to under we want to
Wait, I have a question. Is this a special meeting?
No, this is a
not
regular meeting.
Oh, this is the regular meeting. Oh, okay.
So, yep, so if we could do a bond release, and also there's been under staff report of a change for a special meeting next month.
All right, so could we have a motion to add those items to the agenda tonight? So moved. Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the motion's been made and passed. So we will add those items to the agenda, Deanna. And there are no communications, you said. Okay, so under new business, we have special permit number 2103 and CAM number 2103, 44 Falls Avenue. This is a request for a special permit and CAM approval for sewer treatment plant modifications requested by Connecticut DEP to include eliminating 3 existing digester tanks and digester control building to replace with a vehicle and utility storage building. Application and property of Norwich Public Utilities. It's Assessor's Map 101, Block 4, Lot 1-3, Zone ROS. So do we have somebody here to speak in connection with this, or is this a public hearing we're having?
It is, so we need a motion to open the public hearing.
Okay, so can we have a motion then to open the hearing?
Yeah, Frank, if I could, do we need to change the agenda on that to call it a public hearing on the agenda? Because I didn't realize it was a
Yeah,
public.
I know it doesn't say public hearing on the agenda. That's why I had asked. I don't think so.
It was legally advertised as a public hearing, so we covered ourselves that way. But yes, normally we write a little line that says new business public hearing for, we state that. So it was missed off this agenda, but it was advertised as a public hearing.
Okay, sounds good. Then I'll make a motion to go ahead and open the public hearing.
Okay, motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. So the public hearing is open on the items I specified earlier. Is there somebody here on behalf of the applicant to speak?
Yes, this is Ellen Bartlett with Green Site Design. I'm representing the applicant tonight.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. Why don't you go ahead and take over from here, and then Deanna can tell us what she needs to add to the items afterwards.
Okay. See, back in, I think, 2014, we came before this commission with a special permit CAM application for upgrades to the water pollution control facility, which was approved. It just didn't get built at that time. So now we're back with some modifications to that special permit and site plan approval, because DEP now we have the funding in place, and DEP has changed some of their requirements. One of the main things they've changed is they're not, originally, all the new buildings were being flood proofed above the 100-year flood plain, but now DEP is requiring them to be 3 feet above the 100-year elevation. So we're raising the first floor on all the buildings, and all the tanks that are being constructed are going to be raised, the finished floors above elevation 18.35. So that's a significant change. We brought everything up, all the proposed buildings. Also, they've changed their requirements, and we're taking out the 3 existing digesters and the digester buildings. These are located, here we go, right as you come in the building. They're the first 3 tanks that you see as you come into the site. Yep, those are being eliminated, and in their place is going to be a much smaller vehicle storage building. Could we go to sheet 6? Okay, this one shows the new garage building for vehicle storage. And then if you go down on the west side, along the west branch of the Yannick River, there's a new building shown down at the bottom, over one more to the left. That is the thickening sludge building that's going to be doing what the old digesters do. Technology's come a long way. You don't need those 3 big tanks. They're going to handle the sludge in those buildings. The rest of the improvements were part of the originally approved plan. Do you want me to go through those as well?
That's totally up to you. I mean, if it's part of the original plan that's been approved, it's probably not necessary, but if you want to talk about it to bring us back up
Yeah.
to date, that's fine.
There are some other upgrades. They're really trying to improve the water quality of the effluent that goes out into the river. So they're to the right of the thickening sludge storage tanks is a new headworks building. Right, that's where all the incoming sewage goes first through there and then is distributed from there. We're putting in 3 new secondary tanks. They're the secondary treatment tanks are the larger ones. You can see there's an existing one. These 2 are new. That one's new. This is an existing one down here. So we're adding, instead of having just 1, we're going to have 3. So that really improves the treatment. They're doing upgrades to all the primary tanks and the aeration tanks. They're bringing them up to today's technology. Raising elevations in the sludge handling building, which is right in front of those tanks. Yes. The administration building is being reconstructed. It's going to be brought up because right now it isn't flood proofed. It's going to be brought up to the first floor is going to be elevation 18.35. So it will not flood. We're putting in a new lab just to the right of that. Again, the finished floor on that will be 18.35. And then there's just a lot of little things. They're upgrading the electrical system, the transformers, the IV disinfection building is being upgraded. Just a lot of internal improvements within a lot of these structures. Just a major improvement to the quality of the effluent coming out of the system. That's pretty much a summary of what we're proposing. And, you know, we pretty much tried to keep it all within the footprint of what's out there now. We've looked hard at the flood storage capacity for the site, and we're actually going to be increasing this flood storage volume, which is a good thing. There's less structures, and we've got 6,865 cubic feet of increased flood storage volume on the site. And as I described, all the new structures and buildings are going to be up 3 feet above the floodplain elevation, which is 15.35. It changed slightly. They came out with new flood maps. It was 15.0. Now it's 15.35. We're going 3 feet above that. So the site
Can I
is.
ask a
it's gonna be big
question?
improvement. Sure.
What is the ground elevation there?
It varies. The site varies from elevation 11 to 20.
Yeah, wow, that's really something, huh?
Yep. So we're improving everything out there, you know.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Bartlett?
That's a pretty much the overview of what we're proposing for upgrades. And this is all DEP mandated, so it's all under their jurisdiction and review. Everything's being done in accordance with their requirements.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions, Mike or Les?
Or Kathy?
Kathy already asked her allotted question. She only gets one.
No, I don't have any questions.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, so is there anybody, Dan, is there anybody in the public here who, there's nobody here in the room with us. So in the virtual room, is there anybody in the public who wishes to speak?
No, we don't have any members of the public, just Larry Sullivan from MPU is the only other person on the call besides our regular attendees.
Okay, and does Mr. Sullivan want to speak on behalf of the application at all?
This is Larry Sullivan, North Public Utilities. I think Ellen explained it perfectly. Like I said, we are under, DEEP. We've worked hard with DEEP the last few years to upgrade our plant to today's current environmental standards. We're actually kind of excited about the project as far as odor control and water quality benefit for the harbor for sure.
Okay,
And does this increase the volume? I mean, it must increase the volume or the capacity of the sewage treatment plant.
Wet weather wise, dry weather, no. We're still in it. We're still our permit is 8.5 million gallons a day, which we're not nearly that. We averaged like 4.5.
Oh,
But wet weather will be certainly increase our capacity to treat up to 20 MGD, where we can, if we get 17 now, things go bad at the plant. What the upgrade does do is greatly reduces the amount of pounds of nitrogen that go out to the harbor, which there's a nitrogen credit trading program, which we always end up paying per year. This time we'll actually get money back from the state. And besides the water that goes out will no longer have chlorine in it. It will be the UV as a light disinfection for the final disinfection before it goes out to the river. So, and
so
then
wait,
get rid of the
did you say the water will have chlorine in it or not?
No, it does right now. It will no longer have.
Okay,
It basically kind of, it's like pool water, kind of like a
Yeah,
low-level
yeah.
pool water that
Yep.
goes out. The chlorine aspect goes away. The final disinfection will be with ultraviolet light, not
Oh,
chlorine.
very interesting. Good.
anybody else? So Dan, you said there's nobody in the virtual waiting room from the public. I assume
No,
there's
there's
nobody else
not.
who wishes to speak on or against this application, that being the case.
I just have a few
Deanna,
things to
do
go
you
over.
have items you need to add to the record now?
Dan reviewed this proposal and Dan is going to go over that with you.
All right, thank you, Dan.
So I've got a few things just to mention. I've got the last page of the coastal site plan review from DEEP, recommending that the CCP approve it with a couple of conditions. I'll mention those. They noted that adequate erosion and sedimentation controls are installed and maintained, and that a new flood management certification appears to be needed since the proposed activities have changed since the issuance of the related 201-400-451-FM. So I would just ask that you add those to any motions for approval. I also have a brief memo that has our standard bullet points at the end. I'd ask to waive reading through all those, but if someone makes a motion to include those in it. We forwarded it to relevant departments. The city engineer had a few comments that were addressed in the revised plan, and he wrote back the other day that he's fine, it satisfied all those. We sent it to the Natural Diversity Database. There was no comment for that. And I don't know if, Ellen, did you hear back from the state archaeologist at all?
No, we haven't.
Okay. And it was not sent to wetlands because it's DEEP's jurisdiction, because it's in tidally influenced waters. And there's no erosion and sediment control bond because it's a municipal project. And I'd also note for the special permit approval that the proposal conforms to chapter 7.7 of the zoning regulations. And here on the screen, I have the list of exhibits. I'd ask that the reading of that be waived. I'll send it to the clerk for inclusion in the minutes. And I believe that's all I have to add at this point.
Okay, so let me just
have a
ask, so
question,
this is a
Kathy?
special, yeah, this is a special exception application because it is in the floodplain. Is that right?
That's for the special permit. Yep.
Yeah, or special permit and a
Yep.
CAM application, those two things.
Correct.
Okay, so there's two applications really on this, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so we would have to just make two motions.
That's
Yep.
correct.
It's CAM 2103 and special permit 2103.
Okay,
So do we have any other evidentiary issues, matters to be, to come before the commission before we close the public hearing?
No, I believe we've covered everything, Frank.
Okay, so in that case, could we get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mike,
I'll second.
seconded by Les. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so the public hearing on special permit 2103 and CAM application 2103 have been closed. Does the commission have any discussion on the matters at this point, or would somebody like to make a motion on special permit 2103?
I'll make a motion to approve the application, two applications. Can we do it both at the same time?
Well,
We should do it
I
separately.
think, yeah, I think I agree with Mike. We do them separately, do one for the special permit and one for the CAM application.
Okay, so I would make a motion to approve the special permit application. I think this is warranted. It's with the conditions that the town planner's office have recommended. This is warranted. It's consistent with the plan of conservation and development, and I would recommend that it be approved.
Okay. So we have a motion regarding 2103, special permit 2103. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So special permit 2103 has been approved with the conditions as set out in the planner's memo and for the reasons that it conforms to chapter 7.7 of the zoning regulations. So then we're moving on to CAM application 2103. Can we get a motion on that application?
I'll make that motion again.
Okay, so Kathy's made the motion with the same
Yep,
conditions.
with the same
and-
conditions,
And for the
Yep.
same reasons.
yep.
All right, and can we have a second on that motion then?
Second.
Okay, so we have the motion and a second by Mike. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Therefore, that's unanimous also. The CAM application carries and is approved in accordance with the motion. All right, thanks. Thank you, Ms. Bartlett, Mr. Sullivan. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you for your
And-
time and hope everyone has a nice holiday.
You
Thank you,
too.
and you
You
too.
too.
Appreciate the
Thanks,
good
Ellen.
wishes. Thank you. Okay, so that's it under new business. We do have other business and the items that were added to the agenda. So you want to do the added items first or the other business first, Deanna?
Sure, so old business is none, and then extension request, we have none. So the next one is H, which is the bond. So this is the bond for special permit, excuse me, site development plan 921A and 921B, which was the Panema North project. The last bond reduction we did for this was January 15th, 2019, and we went from $229,147.35 down to $66,552.10. And this was for the North Mill for all the activities and the site work there. We are now issued the CO for the North Mill. It's completely done. It's just 2 light posts that they're waiting to get in, but the engineer and zoning feel that everything else was completed per the plan. So we are asking to have the bond for site development plan 921, 921 A and B reduced to 0 for the North Mill.
Okay, can we get a motion on that bond reduction?
So moved.
Okay, we have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
I was gonna say, should we make that with the condition that the 2 light poles will be installed?
We're gonna make sure that they are. I mean, they know when they're coming in, they just didn't come in yet. So zoning is on top of it, so I'm not too worried about it. And it would look
Okay.
fine to go in, so I'm pretty sure I don't think we'll have a problem making sure they go in.
Okay. No
Okay.
problem.
So we have the motion and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. So
Good.
then, Frank,
Did I
the
hear
next thing,
everybody vote?
yep,
Yep.
Okay. Maybe I'm getting deaf.
It's hard to do these meetings this way.
Yeah, I don't like them. So that's the bond reduction, and we had another matter, Deanna?
sure, under other business, so our regular meeting in January date is scheduled for this, the 18th of January, which was the day after Martin Luther King Day. We normally wouldn't have it that day, and because the way staff works, we would have bumped it to the 25th. It wouldn't have been an issue, but the council is meeting on the 18th because of the holiday on the 17th. And I will need to be at that meeting. And this is a fairly large application that's coming in. It'll be the application for Panema South. And I have spoke to them and told them I'd like to be there. We're going to be reviewing that, just came in. So I'd like to see if we can have that meeting on January 25th in lieu. We'll cancel the meeting on the 18th and have it on the 25th as a special meeting.
Okay, members, any issues with the change of date on that?
No.
I can't attend.
I know, that's the thing. I know that
I
that
know.
conflicts you. I don't know what other day to kind of do it. If you're trying to stick with
Yeah.
it Tuesday, you know?
I have no problem. I just hope you get a quorum.
So Les, are you available, and so Mike and Frank for the 25th?
As far as I know, I should be available.
I've got a meeting down in East Lyme that night.
Hmm. So, I mean, do we want to change to a total different night of the week? I mean, that's up to you guys. I don't know if we can. That's, or
Do we have, who else is on the commission? I mean, are there,
that's it
That's
right now. We
it.
got you 4, so
Just the 4 of us now? Nobody's
Just
been
you're the only-
appointed yet?
no, and we can't do it earlier because it's a big application. We need to.
no,
literally can.
yeah.
So,
Do we want to move to the following week?
the week after the 25th brings you to the first of February, which would mean we'd have kind of 2 meetings in February. If we get that.
Well,
I
I'm
could
open to anything. I mean, do you want to do it on
I'm
Wednesday
going to
night?
Pennsylvania. I won't be here on the 1st of February. I'm sorry. So, shoot. Do we want to pick a different day of the week? Do we want to do a Thursday? Can anyone do a Thursday?
Thursday the 27th
Yeah, how about Thursday, the 27th?
or Thursday the 20th?
No, I would do the 27th because that gives us a little bit more time.
All right, give me a second to look at my calendar.
I'm available.
I am too.
I'm available too.
Kathy, Les, and Mike, and what about you, Frank?
Yeah, I'm checking. What's the date? The
Thursday,
27th?
the 27th.
Gonna be a rough week.
Yeah, that looks okay for me.
All right, so that would be terrific. So I'm gonna do that. We'll hold the public hearing, for that night. It doesn't mean it has to be decided that night, but we'd like to get it started, time wise for them. Okay?
That's fine. So we're gonna move the regular meeting to Thursday, January 27th.
That'll be the special meeting. Yep. So we're canceling the meeting
That's
on
a special meeting?
It'll be a special meeting on the 27th, and I'll send you a reminder right after this meeting, and
Well,
so that you have that.
Deanna, wasn't that going to be the regular meeting
But
previous?
they won't allow us to change a regular meeting date once the calendars are set. So what we do is we cancel the regular meeting and we have a special meeting that night at a due date and time.
Okay, if you want to do it that way, that's fine. with me.
Yeah, that's how they like this.
I think
You
we can
have-
call it our regular meeting, but doesn't matter to me.
No,
Exactly.
if
So it
it's not
is,
on the calendar, it has to be special, so
yes.
Yeah. that's good.
Thank you. That helps me. So do we want a motion on that, or are we okay? Everybody's in agreement?
Let's do it as a motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we have it on the 27th of
All right.
January.
Special meeting, January 27th, 7
7
o'clock.
PM. Yep.
Okay, second it.
Motion made in second, all in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
right.
Okay, so that's done.
Kathy and Les and everybody, that's very much accommodating. We appreciate it.
Okay, so then the next matter on the agenda would be the draft of the open space fee language.
Yep, so if you
Been
want to call
tabled,
that.
and I think that's Mike's, no, that's Kathy's.
So what I did was, okay, so I'm gonna go back in
Is that
time.
Mike or Kathy? The
Kathy.
open space.
It was Kathy
The
and then
fees.
Mike, so.
Yep, space fee.
So what I'll tell you is what I originally did and where we're at now. So originally I took language that Kathy had sent me from Preston and we changed it. I put a lot in there. Then I got a lot of comments back from Mike. And then Kathy and I spoke and said, well, we could really stick with our original one and just tweak that. So I went back to our subdivision regulations and took out some of the massive changes that I had done and really just changed
Yeah,
a little, some of this. So if you want to scroll down a little, Dan, on this, because I can see a little bit more. So we changed part of number 1. And then we added the other criteria, the fair market value, a fraction of the payment, which was all this information we did get from Kathy and from the statutes. And then the area that Mike worked on the most was really changing item C. And he looked at item C and then he did item D, which was the exemptions, which were already in there, but he reformatted and kind of called it out. So what I'd like to do, since this is on the screen and give you guys an opportunity, is it's on the website, give you to next month. And we don't have to do it in a special meeting because special meetings are tricky to do this at. So why don't we put this on the February agenda, give you time to read it for the last time before I send it to the council for their consideration. Is that okay?
I read it. I don't have no problem with it.
Okay. Does
Well, if
anyone
I'm
else
reading-
have Any issues?
If I'm reading the right one, then some of it is duplicative. So,
So it
so the
wasn't.
part
the
about
original one,
the fair
right?
market value shall be determined jointly by the applicant is,
What section is that, Mike?
well, in here, it's 1A.
Okay, go back up, Mike. So 1A, the fair market value to be determined jointly by the applicant and the commission.
Yeah, let me
Yep.
get a little closer so I can see it better. Yeah, okay. So if we go further,
Go down.
further.
Oh, it says it twice. I see that.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Under
See, it's in-
C1.
C1.
What you see at the top of the page is
Oh,
also.
yeah.
what you
But
see
no,
at the-
I don't think that's repetitive
It's
though.
not really.
No,
Why?
I think
That's the
it's just,
payment. It's not, because the
Right.
other, if you go back up to the 1, go back up a little bit more of it. It says the fair market value shall be determined jointly by the applicant and the commission. That's the fair market value. But then when you get down, go back down again to answer the other part. It talks about the payment in fee of lieu shall be equal to 10% of the fair market value appraised as undeveloped property. So we have to agree on what the market value is by the appraiser, and then the 10% is what that is. So why don't I give you time to read it, Mike? I don't want to do it on the screen. Why don't we
Alright.
read it and put this on February?
All right, I'll
This-
take a look at it and I'll take a look at it.
Okay, but I did incorporate all your changes and hopefully.
No, I know, but yeah, it's fun.
Okay. So let's do that. We'll put it on February's meeting as an agenda item.
So we're gonna table this again and move it to the February meeting.
Yep, that's perfect.
All right. Do we need a motion to table it, or are we just gonna do it?
I think we'll just do it at this point. We'll just table it because we discussed it, but we'll put it on February. Is it?
Okay, so that's done. Is there any other item then under the subdivision regulations that needs to be considered? No, okay. We don't have any extension requests. We've done the bond reduction. Do we have a staff report?
Just a quickie staff report. The YMCA, we got the request for proposals back the day before Thanksgiving. And then we were hoping to get quite a few respondents, and we did get one. And so we are going to be negotiating with them. It's Mattern Construction, and Mattern is their proposal is to use a portion of the building. They're going to demo a section of the building as well, but they want to use a portion of the building and relocate their offices here to Norwich, their headquarters. And then they want to have two uses on either side of them, which would right now in the proposal is a brewery and a coffee shop. So, we don't know if those are going to be the end uses, but we're negotiating with them and talking about, we're having a meeting later this week. And if they, they told us who they're going to be using for marketing the property, Vanilla Box out those spaces. We want to make sure that whatever goes in those tenant spaces are going to be hours that are different than 9 to 5. We want more vibrancy there. So whoever they lease to, we're probably going to have a condition in our agreement with them that they need to find tenant uses that are going to have hours that go beyond the 9 to 5. So whether it be earlier hours for a coffee shop and later some kind of restaurant, or gym or whatever, could be there. We want to make sure that at from 9 to 5 and all of a sudden 5 o'clock, the building shuts down, everybody goes home in a construction, office, and it's dark in that corner. And that's not what we want to see happen. So, because the hotel is moving forward across the street, the Majestic.
Oh, really?
They've been working inside. It doesn't look like the changes on the outside. I was wishing they would be out there, changing the facade, a little painting and, the signage, but they're working inside. They're getting permits. They're moving forward with that boutique hotel there. So
Timeline on that, Deanna. What's the timeline on that?
I don't know exactly, Frank, and I don't want to guesstimate, but I know it got held up because of COVID, obviously, and now it's moving forward. So we want to make sure that whatever's across the street complements the hotel. So if they have a coffee shop or a brewery or restaurant or even a gymnasium or something that people at the hotel can go to, we just want that corner to be vibrant. Like I said, they're going to demo part of the building. We have applied for 2 grants the city has, with EPA grant for $650,000 and a DECD grant for $850,000, both for remediation and cleanup. So we're hoping that we get one or both, or something to be able to help with those remediation costs on the site, especially if they're going to reuse the building. There is hazardous materials and again partial demolition there. But the facade in the building is a big step up. It keeps some of the flair of the YMCA, but it's definitely very impressive, and I think people will be happy.
Will we get to see that? Will that be a site plan for us or not?
So I have to look at how that's going to be. We haven't got to that point yet. I haven't really calculated that up if it's going to be, because we have approved the 5,000 square foot for new buildings. I just need to, but it's not a new building. It's a, modification.
But we get to review it based on
We don't even know
8-24.
Yeah.
We get to review it based on 8-24. I just want to see it. That's all. I mean, I don't.
And absolutely. So, but as
So-
far as the site plan application to the commission, I'm not sure. I have to look at what improvements gonna make
But at
100%
least if we have to review it based on 8-24, we.
for the,
maybe
se- for the sale of the property to them.
Yeah, maybe we can have the plans, not bring it before us until they have the plans.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
So like I said, we only received the one, but they really did
Yeah.
step up. I spoke with Mattern Construction ahead of time and was like, you know, we don't want to see this office become a construction yard and have, you know, you move everything here. That's not what we want on Main Street. And they very much understood that. They understood that, you know, again, we don't want to have, you know, 7 to 3 construction office close and then have nothing there going on our Main Street. So they love the location. It's strategic. It's great for them. They're doing a lot of work in the city. And so they really want to be there and they want to surround themselves with things that are exciting too. So we're happy with the
So
proposal.
Deanna, can I ask you a question? Is there any negotiation with either the hotel or the YMCA building about using the municipal parking lot that's
The
next to
parking
the
lot
YMCA?
goes, the parking lot goes with the YMCA, Mike.
It
So
will go with the YMCA.
Yep, it does. It goes with the YMCA where that's all the parcels together. We're gonna be, that will go with that business is there. But the hotel has their own small lot behind them that they know that they're using for it. And it's a 20-room hotel. It's a boutique hotel, so it's not huge. So I think that they'll be fine with their parking that they have on their property.
Now, did we see the hotel?
You didn't
No.
because it got approved a long time ago and it was still within the
Oh.
time frame and the hotel. So it was a zoning permit they had. It was already had been approved. So
Oh, because
Yeah.
that's really exciting. I didn't know. So what's
Yeah,
the,
so
what
it's
are
been
they
about-
doing
coming
to
for
the
about
outside
a
of?
year and a half to 2 years and then, but it just was slow getting off the ground, but they've been slowly working on it and now it's moving forward after COVID. So we're excited about that.
And do you mind if I ask this? What improvements are they doing to the outside of the building besides
I
taking
don't know
the sign?
off the top of my head. I
The
don't
sign down?
know.
They taking the
Yeah, I
sign
think
down?
that they're just going to clean the outside up, but hopefully landscaping, hopefully the signage, you know, obviously. I wish they would just take down the Majestic Rose sign right now.
I
just
know,
that-
that's
just to take
awful.
that down as an improvement. So
Yeah.
we will be having that conversation with them soon. So
Could
let
you
me see
keep
what else.
us
The Hale
informed on
Mill-
that?
What?
Can you keep us kind of updated on that? I'd like to know about that.
Yeah, and then the
Thanks.
Hale Mill is ready, the permits are ready for them to pick up, so they're just the building permits, so they're ready to move forward. So that's what we're talking to them right now about getting them to come pick up their permit. You know, the fee is a big hefty one, you know, for these building permit fees, so but that's kind of what's holding off them pulling, you know, getting the permit, but it's all ready to go. It's been reviewed and everything, so.
Oh, all good things happening.
Yep, lots of stuff. We're very, very
Oh,
busy.
I was out at the Four Corners in East Great Plains. They've taken down that gasoline station, so now they
Oh.
can put up a car wash.
Oh, I
It's
know
done
you said
already. I
that.
haven't been by there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Can't we
I
do
was
something
out
about
there
that?
yesterday and it was down.
Can't we do something about that? That's
No, it's
awful.
allowed in your zoning
Chelsea,
regulations.
you can buy the
Permit,
property
So-
and put up a mansion there.
The scoop with that is they applied for the zoning permit. It's on, it's kind of on hold right now because even though DOT has looked at it and said they're okay because of the roundabout, they kind of said, all right, you can move the improvements later on, you know, we'll allow you to put some of them in the right of way now, but you have to move them. We want a plan from them showing the improvements being moved once the roundabout is, because we don't want to hear the problems then, because what they do is they have a few of the vacuums in the area that would be taken by the roundabout. They have, you know, some parking spaces there where you pull in a vacuum. So they're going to lose those. And we want to make sure that they're not going to later on be, you know, fighting us on this. So they need to agree to, their engineer has got to create a plan that shows how they're going to comply with their landscaping and all the requirements once that corner is changed with the roundabout. So that's where we're at right now, is we're pushing back for a second plan from them, of kind of a before and after, that they show that they can still be compliant.
Mm,
Yeah, and it doesn't come to the commission. It's a zoning permit for that
Yeah.
use, and it's under the 5,000 square feet. It's just,
It's too,
it's so
it's too bad.
disappointing, you know.
Yeah, that is
economic
disappointing.
development, Obviously, but I can tell you, every person that's called in the last few days because the building coming down has gone, what's going on there? Oh, you know, everyone's not thrilled that it's a car wash, so
It's too bad that there was such a problem with that gas station.
I
I
know.
would have much rather seen Cumberland Farms there, but oh
No,
well.
But, so that's that. I'm trying to think what else is going on. We're just so busy. We're just so busy. We have new staff, a new blight housing, enforcement officer. His name is Alonzo. He's, a Spanish speaker, so we're really excited. That really helps us a lot in the blight. We're hiring an zoning assistant blight officer combined position. We'll be interviewing hopefully in January for that. Let me see, out for
And I-
building officials.
And Debbie's leaving?
Deb's last day, so everyone, is Friday, so.
Oh, really?
Yep, so she's retiring, so we're excited
Good
for
for her.
her. And so
You have
she,
somebody taking her place?
we do, we have an internal staff from the tax office, again, another Spanish speaker, so we will have 3 of them in our office, which is
Oh,
really great.
good.
Our diversity in our office is gonna be huge, and to be able to have those resources is terrific, so. Yep, everybody's really excited. I mean, we're happy for Deb, but it's, it's also exciting to have changes too,
Mm-hmm.
So-
Excellent.
Yeah, Dan, is there anything else I'm missing that we want to report on?
No, I think you covered it. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yep,
Okay, so that's pretty much everything. I think we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second.
Second by Les, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Merry
so
Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas.
Merry
Have a great new
Christmas.
year.
happy holidays,
Everybody
Yes,
have a
have
great
fun.
holiday.